He came, he saw, and he always seemed to conquer.
He had an eye for beauty. He understood what people wanted.
He took plastic shit and made it classy.
In 2007, Steve Jobs introduced a product that would make Apple the richest company on the planet.
Steve Jobs was a master at teasing new technology to people, and everyone turned up to Macworld thinking they were seeing a new iPod or a new Mac. He was showing them something vastly different, something new and something that was going to change the world, and he did it like the master that he was.
Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? And we are calling it iPhone.
Today, we look back and it all looks so easy. But the product launch of one of the most popular products ever could have gone disastrously wrong, and Apple's fortunes along with it.
Every single time he touched the screen, we're waiting for the music to stop playing. We're waiting for the browser to just go white. I mean, there's all sorts of things that we knew could happen.
I've got playlists here. I can go into my playlists. I've got artists. I've got songs.
The stress level is through the roof. You've never seen behind stage a more angsty, miserable group of people.
Jobs' team is stressed for a good reason. The iPhone that Steve is holding doesn't really work.
We had a very careful path. It was called the golden path that Steve had to follow. He had to do exactly these things in exactly this order. And if he didn't, it could crash.
What the rapt audience doesn't know is that to avoid these crashes, there are several iPhones in the lectern, with Jobs discreetly switching between them. It would take a magician to figure out how he did it.
He was doing switches. He would switch one iPhone for the other so he could show off different apps when they actually couldn't change.
So it was a matter of, reaching beneath the lectern and pulling out a phone that looks like the same phone, only it's not. It's the phone to the left.
As the demonstration goes on, Jobs' backstage team do what any sane men would do under this kind of pressure. They start to drink heavily.
I could play with this for a long time.
I just anticipated all this going wrong. So on my drive, I brought with me a bottle of scotch. And what we decided to do is every one of us who was responsible for a certain part of the demo, whether it was playing some music, showing the maps, whoever was responsible for that part would take a shot. Problem was, I'd been involved for all of them. By the time Steve does the big finale, I'm completely wasted.
And this grand finale is the most risky part of the presentation.
To conclude, I want to show you something truly remarkable.
Jobs plans to run all of the features of the iPhone at the same time. And one more thing, make a live phone call.
He's got, at this point, maps going, there's paused music. All the software is lit up on this phone.
So I'm going to search for Starbucks, and sure enough, there's all the Starbucks.
Things could go just absolutely sideways.
And I can even go look at that Starbucks, and there it is, and let's give him a call.
Maybe the whole thing was just going to go black and then restart. We didn't know.
Good morning, Starbucks. How can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to order 4,000 lattes to go, please. No, just kidding. Wrong number. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The Force was with Steve Jobs that day, which prevented a farce.
It was the first time any of us as a group saw just a perfect demo. I mean, we'd never seen the whole thing go off without a hitch.
I personally was unaware of any significant glitches that were taking place. How beautifully it seemed to function was compelling.
And 6 months later, the world got to stand in line for the very first time.
This is gonna be like going down in the history of all cell phones.
To see the line of people snaking around the building, waiting to hand over $700+ for a phone that we had just created, was the time where it really kind of hit home for me.
Steve, I love you!
The iPhone becomes the fuel for a new fire of social media.
The internet experience became usable, became real, became tangible, became popular. That was where the iPhone excelled.
How's the smartphone changed our lives? It's changed everything. Everything is trackable, filmable, shareable. You can use it for basically any function that you want to do. You can do it better by using a smartphone.
The impact of it is unprecedented human connectedness.